So this is a phone that's actually been requested a lot, but as you know, kind of difficult to get. Huawei, United States, trade ban type of stuff. I've talked a lot about the trade dispute and so forth on the show downstairs on Lou Later. So, I mean, you could go look at a variety of videos on that. It is the Huawei Mate 30 Pro and the Huawei Mate 30. So the release kind of changed significantly because of that ban. So that's the important piece of this particular unboxing video. You don't have Google Play services. There's no Google Play Store. There's no Google apps. You pretty much can only buy this thing in China as it stands right now. An aggressively curved OLED display on here, sort of violet look to it. The gigantic camera portion as well, which of course we've seen in photos, but I haven't looked at yet. That's the Pro, and we might as well, let's do this in conjunction here. Here is the non-Pro version. That one looks like it's just in black, and obviously it's gonna be a slightly different setup. The Pro is substantially more slender. Oh, the Pro one actually comes with a case. It's an actual hard shell case. Pretty slender without covering up the edges. Now they're calling the display Horizon display. The encircled glass has an 88-degree ultra curve, a fairly powerful supercharged power brick with a max 40-watt charge. You have a USB Type-C cable, and they even include a wired headset. Now this is not going to be mini jack because there is no headphone connector natively on the device. Instead, it's Type-C. And in the non-Pro unboxing, the non-Pro model comes with the softer one that we're used to seeing frequently. Power brick looks to be identical. Yes, max 40 watts supercharged. We do have a mini jack headset because the non-Pro Mate 30 does have a headphone jack. Kind of a mirror type of finish to it. It looks almost silver, and then at others, you start to get some purple in there. So I'm gonna go with cosmic purple, but even cosmic purple, it's not an overwhelming purple. The crazy thing here is that the wraparound on the sides is so aggressive that there's no buttons. You actually only have one single button here, and it's almost on the back side of the phone when you look at it. Gigantic camera array, which they've done in a circular fashion. Okay, I'm giving a little juice to the Pro model. In the meantime, let's check out the non-Pro.
So for the non-Pro, it's about $600, and for the Pro, it's $800.
Battery life, I should mention, 4,500 milliamp hours in the Pro model, which is an upgrade over the previous version. This one is 4,200. This one is a more typical smartphone layout. This color, far more conservative. It's black. It's a smaller notch on the non-Pro. Huawei is one of the few manufacturers now that's maintaining a more advanced version of Face Unlock to provide a more secure type of Face Unlock. I actually was surprised the standard non-Pro Mate still has a pretty slim bezel going on. Of course, you do have the notch. This one is larger, however. Now, in order to make up for that, on the Pro model, which it just supercharged up to 35% in a very short period of time, they've made up for it by going crazy aggressive on the sides. Jack can pick this up better than anyone on the side angle. Of course, it's kind of similar to what Samsung is doing. Mostly a wow factor, Will.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing cool stuff. We're flexing screens around edges. We're doing cool stuff.
Also less buttons.
It's gesture-based, so as you saw, you're swiping. It's iPhone-esque. If you want to adjust the volume, you double tap on the side here. And then there's also a tactile kind of feedback I'm getting, like a buzz as I move up and down. We are looking at 2400 by 1176. That's FHD+. Of course, it's an OLED display, 6.53 inches. Let's go ahead and try out this Face Unlock. I'm curious about it. You look to the side and down, round. It's missing over there, over there. It can require eye contact or not, which is kind of interesting. A lot of people stressing out on the Pixel that the eyes didn't have to be open for the unlock. A lot of people stressed out, Will. A lot of people paranoid. Of course, there's also fingerprint scanning capabilities in the display. This is your typical stuff. That's an optical scanner. If I lock it and I'm not looking at it, I can go with the fingerprint, which is pretty quick. It's not like the optical Face Unlock. It requires the 3D, so the profile is not gonna unlock it. You have to be looking at it. But when you're looking at it, okay, let's try raise to wake. It's just on the table. Pick it up. Boom. What? That's really fast. Whoa! That's quite quick. The cameras, obviously, we got to spend some time there because that's really what people can be interested in. It's become the characteristic that people care about most with smartphones. And as we know, this device, Will, is constantly, it's near the top of DxO mark, and it's just referred to as a real player in the space. Take DxO mark for what it is, right? It's up for grabs, it's up for dispute. But it's hard not to mention the fact that they put this device at the very top. In video, a super wild slow-mo available to you, and it's got a variety of cameras to choose from, lenses to choose from on the back. And we're gonna go ahead and take our first photo at 1x. Boom. Sharpening, stay steady. Okay, so there's some processing taking place. Let's see, here we go down to the wide angle, which is something I like to have, something I like to use. This is the 3x, and last up, the 5x. So many options there. I presume that at the far end of it, it's some sort of hybrid situation. Even the 5x, as I examine it here, looks pretty good. That's your 2x optical. Look at the fibers over here. See that? So lots of detail. This is our wide angle. The contrast on the wide actually looks pretty nice. Let's see if we still are left over with some detail on the crop. Yes, we are. And then you also have your standard field of view, and that's the stock that's going to come out of the camera. So we've seen this before, obviously, but it's interesting to see each year how it changes. In the past, when it sees it as greenery, as it does right here, Jack, you can make that out, it tends to kind of enhance the saturation. It's making some smart decisions for you based on track record and obviously whatever it thinks is going to produce the best results for your particular image. And in some cases, this can be really useful. It can speed things up for you. The selfie camera over here, it looks like I got some beauty stuff by default. I'm gonna toggle that off. It's tracking my face right now within the image. It also has HDR baked into that. That's a lot of detail on the selfie as well. This is up near the top from a performance perspective. Just analyzing this slim number of photos, I would be happy to point and shoot this thing. So DxO isn't completely off when it comes to this particular device. Now, kind of the elephant in the room here is the fact that we're looking at a device that has no Google Play services. The complexity of living with this phone goes way up for anyone who relies on those services, uses those services, things like YouTube. So Huawei launched its own app gallery in the meantime. Is this a substitute? I don't think it's gonna be a substitute for most people as it stands right now, and that's probably the reason this thing launched in China and they're in no rush to launch it elsewhere, because they probably realize that as well. Now, if you enjoy tinkering, if you're the type of person you don't mind diving in there, you could still get a lot out of this device if you're willing to import it or if you choose to. As far as being adopted in a big way, with all the press and the fact that the carriers pretty much have to stay away from it now, it's a major step back for the hardware, which is unfortunate. The hardware on its own justifies looking at it. It has a mono speaker. The upper part of the phone, the screen actually is delivering audio for phone calls. There is no speaker unit at the top. It's this new tech. We've seen it in other devices in the past. All right, so I've had some difficulty trying to get YouTube to work on here. It's strange. Either way, you still end up with a mobile YouTube experience. You don't have nearly as many options for configuration as you would have in the app. The resolution is not there. This is actually not a great res at all, and you have black bars. Yeah, you want the app. This is one of those circumstances. If you watch YouTube, you want the app. Maybe you just want to jump on the TikTok, and then look, it's perfect. I think this is a major setback for Huawei, and it's kind of an unfortunate setback especially when you consider the hardware. You look at the cameras, you have the whole experience, and you wonder what it could have been.